right, let's get right to it. Let's get right to So we got a recap real quick on the Chargers game this week and how they look and all that good stuff. So it was it's they kind of catching the groove, you know what I'm saying? And so you gonna have people say shit like, you know, if like whatever, you gonna be too hype, you beat up on a sorry team or whatever. But all the good teams beat up on sorry teams. All the good teams that lost to sorry teams. You feel me? Like that's your reps and whatever. You play who you play, and it's when you getting towards the playoff, you kind of want to be playing in a certain type of level, you know what I'm saying? As far as like you want to be playing at a high level or whatever, you know what I'm saying? You saw, KC, what they did to Denver, you know what I'm saying? How they had to gut out a win and they was playing a sorry team, right? You saw the Giants, they playing the Colts. They was playing the sorry team, but they, what I'm saying, they was playing at a high level. You want to kind of cut into a different gear as you start to get into January, especially if you're a team that's, trying to do something. You know what I'm saying? So Chargers had a phenomenal game. They followed up Monday night's get performance with another game. I didn't expect that. I thought the game was gonna be, like a typical Charger game. They ain't really went and like mashed the gas on nobody. You know what I'm saying? But this was one of their first games where they actually kind of like, took control of the game. Went into the half 17-10, and then was like, I guess they just was talking like, yeah, these boys can't play with us. Ain't no Aaron Donald, and yeah, Jalen Ramsey's out there, but you know, uh, Mike Williams was giving them the business. You know what I'm saying? And so, you look at the team stats and third down efficiency. Rams was 4 of 11. Charles was 8 of 13. Phenomenal. You know what I'm saying? Whenever you over 50%, you having a great day as far as moving the ball. Controlling the clock. Total plays, Chargers had 62 to 48 yards. It was 431 to 277. So that defense is kind of coming alive or whatever. Time of possession, it was 31 minutes to the Rams 28 minutes, and they only had 2 penalties or whatever. So that was like, it's been some great coaching going on. That you gotta give Staley his props. Like I said like a couple of videos ago, like, ever since Sean Payton said that he's definitely locked in on possibly, if that job was to become available, he was, he would definitely like a opportunity interview for the job. And ever since he said that, we've definitely seen a different turnaround as far as like, defensive intensity and all that. That the Raiders was like, they came out there and just punched the Chargers in the mouth, and it was literally no response to none of the nothing. You feel me? Like the passing game was going, the running game was going, and they couldn't stop nothing. But after that game, ever since then, the defense kind of kicked it up, and granted, the teams they beat, they not making the playoffs, but it's they've got their footing and got some wins together, which they haven't done consistently, since Justin Herbert been in the league. You know what I'm saying? So this was the first time that they starting to trail off some wins or whatever. So, you can't knock it because for years Tom Brady was beating up on a weak AFC East weak AFC East division. Peyton Manning had it where the AFC South was weak and he was beating up on that. So, and then Patrick Mahomes when the AFC West was down, he was beating up on the AFC West. Like he had a streak where he didn't really lose to anybody. You know what I'm saying? So the the wins on the sorry teams don't necessarily, disqualify you as far as whether somebody can say whether you a good team or not. You know what I'm saying? Because you got 2 games versus KC. Both of them games could easily went your way and definitely could have flip flopped those records. As far as with KC and the Chargers, right? So that's how I'm looking at it. But if we just going to dive deep on this game, you'll say that Baker Mayfield he struggled a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? He had 11 to 19 and 132 yards for the game, and they was trailing. That's a poor performance. So Cam Akers, he had 19 carries for 123 yards, 42 was his long. So in my mind, I'm looking like how he running the ball, and so I'm thinking like, yo, this dude on the dog us. You feel me? Like he gonna have one of them 200-yard games, but for some reason they got away from it. You know what I'm saying? Like when Brown scored that touchdown right before the half. So I'm like, oh shit, they about to hit us with a combo of like, you know what I'm saying, like Akers and Brown. But, once the Chargers got the ball in the first half, went straight down and scored, it kind of took them away where if, running the ball wasn't gonna be able to be effective, you feel me? And so they as a team they had 166 yards, 6.4 yard carry, and 1 touchdown. That's solid. Uh, throwing the ball, uh, Baker Mayfield, he didn't really know who to trust. You feel me? Like last week he was trusting Higbee. Higbee got all them targets, and that was like Higbee's best game of the whole season. But this week he didn't really try too many people. The longest pass they caught was 39, and that was Van Jefferson. He had 3 for 77. But in the second half, it was a lot of 3 and outs. You know what I'm saying? And so there wasn't no consistency on offense. So as a team, they didn't get no sacks. Um, they only had 2 QB hits, and they didn't get no interceptions. So any team that I guess face the Chargers, if you ain't gonna sack them, you ain't gonna hit their quarterback, and you're not gonna get no turnovers. It's gonna be real tough to beat them or even be in a game with them. You know what I'm saying? Unless they really just like totally sleep on you. You know what I'm saying? But today it was a game. It wasn't really about Justin Herbert. It was about these dudes on the screen right here. They had a phenomenal ass game, one of their best games of the year. And like I said, I'm not gonna minimize it just because they was against a sorry team, and what I'm saying, and just because Aaron Donald wasn't playing. I must say what they did, and because normally, like they normally giving up sacks. That Justin Herbert is normally running for his life or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And aside from that play, where it's like they're susceptible to that cornerback blitz because there's a few teams that was able to get that off, and so Jalen Ramsey did come and pop them right. But that's the only significant time that I seen Justin Herbert actually hit, but for the most part, these guys on the screen, they did their job, and they went over, like next level, like as far as like they've had games where they ran the ball for more yards, but as far as like running the ball, run blocking, and pass blocking, you know what I'm saying? Not giving up no sacks. This was their best game, hands down. You know what I'm saying? And then, this was, without their top man, Slater, you know what I'm saying, who's on the pine. But Justin Herbert, he finally had a 2 touchdown game. He had 21 completions, 28 attempts, 212, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. He still he got games with some of his passes, like he like when it's goal distance, sometimes he don't know how to take some heat off of his passes. You feel me? And so a lot of times the play caller also be real stupid sometimes when it's like first and goal and stuff like that. But today they actually, they did a solid job as far as calling plays. They've been creative. Like I said, this past month you could tell the difference. Even we gotta give the OC props. Everybody been calling for his head, but he's actually been a little bit more creative than he was at the beginning of the year. So Eckler, he had a monster game. He had 10 for 122, 2 touchdowns, 72 was his longest. So I mean he had 122 yards on 10 carries. So it's like he didn't really beat his body. I mean he did, but he didn't really, like, let me see him catching the ball. Yeah, I mean he only had 4 catches for 39, but he didn't really. So he had 150 total yards, but he didn't really get dogged or whatever. I ain't really see him take like a big hit. You know what I'm saying? But as a team, they rushed for 192 yards, 6.2 yard carry. Phenomenal job run blocking, man. Like, I can't even like put into words. Like it was just real impressive by them. And like I said, I didn't expect it. And so I'm gonna give them props, regardless on who they played. They need that confidence going, like they when they go into the next season, which will be the postseason. They need games like this to reference and just so they know they got it in them to, what I'm saying, do that. You know what I'm saying? They can summon that. When they start facing some of them dogs or whatever. In case you got to face a Buffalo or Cincinnati or whatever like that, they gonna be they gonna be ready for them. You feel me? They gonna have that confidence. Like we can do that. We can have a game where Justin Herbert stay clean. We can have a game where we do a phenomenal job of run blocking. You know what I'm saying? Mike Williams, he's still coming back. He got 10 targets. He caught 7 for 94. But I just be wanting Mike to do more, man, because he got it in him, man. He could definitely be a perennial 1,000 yard receiver, if he just stay healthy. But he got it in him, and then the thing that I like about the offense is you get the goal, right? So you can either throw a jump ball to Mike Williams, or they can do like they did today. Do a call a play where Everett, he got a mismatch with most of the dudes he facing because he's way faster than the way that the Chargers use them. Like Chargers really supposed to be using them on some plays where they can get him out in space and then let him use his speed. They haven't really called a lot of plays for that this season, but he only had 3 for 15 and a touchdown, and then uh Parham, he caught a touchdown as well. So it was a cool performance. Like I said, the passing it really wasn't about the passing, man. It was about the running and the run blocking. So the past 2 weeks, the running game just been phenomenal or whatever. And you go on the defense, it's been it was 3 sacks, 4 QB hits, didn't generate a interception, got 1 fumble recovery. That dude Morgan Fox and Joseph Day, you know, Morgan Fox just been an underrated that dude on the line that's just a hustle ass guy. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times he is cool when you see his hustle gets rewarded with a sack, but some games it don't even get rewarded. But he does a lot of the pressures that once they insert Bosa back in the mix, it's going to generate a different element as far as like you know the pass rush or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But Joseph Day, he had got a sack, and then Van Noy, he been killing it as of like I said this past month. So a lot of the guys that they signed been making plays. So to wrap it all up, they catching a groove at the right time, and they doing what they normally do though. They normally are good for beating up on the side teams or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So you know they they take this to Denver, and then we'll just see, like, depending on how the seeding look, like that will matter whether they're gonna play the starters. You know what I'm saying? Some of the starters might get a week off. You know what I'm saying? If they already know they position is already locked in, as far as you know what I'm saying, who they gonna play. But at this point, it don't matter, because you playing wild card weekend. You either gonna you either gonna play you either gonna play the winner of the AFC South, or you gonna play the 3 seed. You know what I'm saying? So it's and then all that got to get figured out. So you know what I'm saying? They in the prime position. They definitely in a position where they gonna catch some people slipping, and so it's just to see how everything play out. But yeah, like I said, kudos to them dudes on the screen. Had a phenomenal game. Hopefully they get a lot of love. This Justin Herbert, the whole staff, give them a ton of props, because they definitely deserve it. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the game. All right, thanks for listening.